When taking a stroll through Barcelona, at one point you end up at a house that is fully crowded in front and it stands out to all the other houses there. One of Antoni Gaudi's most favorite works, probably, or most, yeah, seen work. It's no straight line, everything a bit wavery, everything a bit round, everything a little bit more organic, lifelike, not like a typical house like all the other ones. And you can see it, the little elements there on the house itself that make it so interesting. I'm talking about Casa Battlo, one of Gaudi's most interesting works. And going inside, you will see no straight line. Inside is the same as with outside. We were introduced by Gaudi's thinking process at first, which leads to an interesting animation that you see here with elements of water, blue, but also then all eyes that are watching us and that represent animals that have something to do with this one as well. An opening of light and air in the middle of the house is one of the highlights. The tour is guided by a little tablet, at least if you have the gold ticket, that helps you to see how the house looked like back in the day with all the old furnitures and some extra elements that you can see here. Nice lights, how they hit, even little things like a staircase that is not straight at all, how it looks like a turtle floating underwater. This is just simply fantastic, wonderful architecture. From the underwater world to the upper world, and there's no straight line either. Even the fireplace is not looking boring or straight, everything rounded. And then we come to the highlight, the heart of this big room with this very nice chandelier and the nice large window there that is called balcony. And you see seashells because we are now over the ground, not under the water, but now at the sea. And everywhere you can find those little seashell and water inspired views. And then this gorgeous, very large window opening. It's called balcony for a reason, because when you step on it, it feels like floating above the busy Barcelona city center with people passing by everywhere. And you find also those nice ornaments and lights that are hitting very nice and make you feel like you are at an ocean. It is calming you down, literally, even though it's a super busy street down below us. That's super fascinating. Floating in the city, you are part of it without taking the busyness. Then we have two pillars showing the exit to the terrace that looks fantastic as well and is quite large. It now features a cafeteria, but also a good view around the city, and you have also a shark-like structure there that when you take a look at into it, many people are taking photos in there, you can also see a little bit of like seashell. The tablet guide helps us to understand that those openings there were like a bit of AC back in the day. Without power, it let us not only light, but also fresh air in. A simple wooden mechanism that reminds me a little bit of gills from fish. What do you think? Is this clever design? But this inner shaft is very interesting. It does not only let air circulate, but also lets light in from the top to straight down the bottom. Then we come to another interesting room that is also not straight. We have a bedroom. If you walk a bit further, you will notice that there is an office. Then there is a living room, and a bit further away you will notice that there is a dining table. And we have this gorgeous window openings that let a lot of light in, which is very important, especially when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is light. And then we have this office that, even for nowadays standards, looks pretty cool. And of course, we have lots of interesting devices there sitting around as well. Walking further up, you notice that the bluish kind of tiles in the background with the window in the foreground create a bit of a water effect as well, which is quite fantastic. Reaching the rooftop, and we have shark fins here as always. On the rooftop, we have this weird kind of chimney structure, but a beautiful view on the Barcelona city. And of course, another cafe because we are hungry after taking all the steps up there. At the end of our visit, and after we climbed all the stairs down again, we have a bit of an extra modernized light show, immersive light show room actually. And if you feel a bit dizzy in 360 degrees cinematic style videos, then that's not for you. But for everyone else, this is definitely a highlight. A highlight that shows how much effort they put into making this very interesting for everyone.
Look at the one wall only.
And fun fact at the end, this is probably the only room in the whole house with straight edges corner to corner.